11-year-old Dara Lynn Eichau missing out of Tampa. She was last seen wearing a black hoodie with red and white stripes and a pair of blue jeans. She's 4'9", weighs 80 pounds, and investigators believe she may be with Martin Eichau, but authorities have not given us the details of their relationship. If you see them, call 1-800-FL-MISSING, and you can head to the Wink News app to look at her picture. Gunshots fly through the air at a Fort Myers apartment complex, and today police say they'll release more information about the shooting at the Sunrise Towers off Canal and Central Avenue. Now, officers say that shooting was isolated. An entire classroom forced to quarantine. A positive COVID case at Gateway Elementary sparked the closure. We're working to find out whether it was a student or teacher who tested positive for the virus. We're waiting to learn what schools are dealing with COVID-19 in our state. The Department of Health has still not released their report online. We do know there's been a 26% spike in cases among children under 18 in the past month. Kids between the ages of newborn to 24 make up 142,440 cases in the state. Wink News is Campaign Central, and with 49 days until the presidential election, Joe Biden is making 2 stops in Florida. He'll attend a roundtable event with veterans in Tampa first, and then a Hispanic Heritage Month event in Kissimmee. The stops mark his first visits to Florida since clinching the Democratic nomination. You now have just days to fill out the 2020 census. We posted a link to where you can fill it out on the Wink News app. Our state is still below the national average for response rates. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. You cannot access I-75 from Alico Road right now. You cannot get onto the interstate or off of the interstate. So if you're more north, go ahead and use Daniels Parkway. If you're more south, Corkscrew Road is up to speed to get onto the interstate. There's also a closure on Three Oaks from Winged Foot to Alico. So if you're in one of those neighborhoods there, take Three Oaks southbound to get onto the interstate from Corkscrew Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour. Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
True Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, Thrive, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
Thinking about new kitchen and bathroom countertops? Rock Solid's full granite slabs starting at $499, quartz $599, remnants starting at $150 means now is the time to save at Rock Solid. Rock Solid is a worldwide importer. Certified fabricators, installers, true artisans and craftsmen. Shop direct. Don't get caught by hidden costs and delays from the big box stores. Call Rock Solid 239-596-7676. On the web, rocksolidnaples.com. Installation in about a week.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Get the best sleep of your life. Helix makes personalized mattresses to fit your unique body type and sleep preferences. Go to helixsleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, almost 3 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So, we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tolerance inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tolerance inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1331790.
To Fox News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad to have you join us this morning. Good to see you. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube. On the YouTubes at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. You get to see this face. And look at this. There's Jake. Jake the Millennial is in the dark. With the very Biden-esque reflections in the glass, Jake. When I look at you in the...
you see the teleprompter?
If you look at the stream, it looks like you're Joe Biden holding up a picture of your kids during an interview with what's his name, James Corden on the Late Super Late. Nobody's watching the show anyway because it's too late show, and by doing that, showing the reflection of his teleprompter in the glass, and so you've got that kind of look going on because there's TVs behind me, and the only way you can see this is to witness this on the YouTube. See, it's part of the perks. It's part of the perks to see that face. Perk might be a little stretch, but we'll get to. We're not going to get back to Jake in a minute because we have other things that are going on. A couple of observations this morning as we get up and we know that it looks as if there is going to be what we're told by the National Hurricane Center just about an hour ago, historic and catastrophic flooding unfolding along in just inland of the coast from west of Tallahassee to Mobile Bay, Alabama. So, we were looking at this Hurricane Sally coming across in the New Orleans area and possibly up to Mobile Bay, but I don't think anyone expected this turn that happened. And now we start to hear the possibility of this widespread flooding west of Tallahassee, an area that we know recently, not too long ago, affected by storms, wasn't it last year? And so that area we keep an eye on, thoughts and prayers certainly with everyone in that area. And if you've lived here long enough in Southwest Florida, you know better than anybody what it's like to not only be hit by a hurricane, and even if it is a Cat 2, but one that would bring a lot of flooding as well. And so as the sun rises this morning, we'll get a better idea of what's happening. And Matt Devitt, certainly in his weather reports, be listening for that at the breaks, at the 15 and 45s, and you'll get to hear the latest there from Matt Devitt as well. A couple of other things I'm noticing this morning. Joe Biden in the state of Florida pandering to the Latino community. How do I know this? Why would I say it's pandering? Well, you're going to maybe know or not know what I'm going to play from Joe Biden in just a little bit. And if you were to look in a, I don't know, is it, Jake, would it be a dictionary or thesaurus, or what would be the fancy term that you would use if you were going to look up something that would have to do with the word pandering or an example of pandering? Where would you go? Would you go to a dictionary or a thesaurus?
I'd go to Google.
When you Google pandering, you will have an example just like the one I'm going to play in a couple of minutes of what Joe Biden did as he walked up to a podium in Florida. Some might say it was disturbing. Some might say it was odd. He played a song. I'm going to let your imagination run wild as he picked a song off of his cell phone. Look at Jake. Jake's like, what song did he play that would have people believe that he was pandering to those that were in the audience? You can't wait, can you? You need to hear it now, don't you?
I mean,
okay, I promise you we'll get to that. But Joe Biden in the state of Florida, and just a couple of things that I want to play before I get to that, and that you need to realize. Number one, Joe Biden, the Harris-Biden administration. Let's get it right. The Harris-Biden administration. How do I know it's the Harris-Biden administration? Because not only did Kamala Harris say it yesterday.
A Harris administration together with Joe Biden.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's together with Joe Biden. You know, Joe Biden's along for the ride. You just kind of bring him along here. You know what you do? You put your arm out and you kind of make that U shape on the side of your body so that, you know, they can kind of grab your arm there and kind of walk along with. Come on, Joe, walk along with me. But it was even Joe Biden reading off a teleprompter, everybody. The teleprompter that he needs, clearly, and I will get to that as well, the latest news on the teleprompter. Is it like teleprompter gate? Do we need some kind of dramatic music? Okay. But Joe Biden saying it. I know, but this is what Joe Biden said. Go.
Harris-Biden administration is going to relaunch that effort and keep pushing further to make it easier for military spouses and veterans to find meaningful careers.
Wait, okay, so he's reading off the teleprompter, Jake. Jake, he's reading off a teleprompter.
Harris-Biden administration is going to relaunch that effort and keep...
Are they like punking him? Do you remember back in the day there was that show Punked? Do they still have that, Jake? Remember Punked?
Yeah, it still exists. It's not as cool anymore.
Yeah, that's what is from then. I mean, you know, Punked and what else, what other big shows did they have? Wasn't it, you know, the show where everybody was living on the beach in one house together? And
what, Survivor?
No, Jersey Shore. That's what I was thinking. Remember Jersey Shore?
I try not to think about it.
I don't blame you. Was he being punked? I mean, he's reading off a teleprompter and it says Harris Biden and he reads it like it's natural. Like, that's what we're doing. Okay, so now we get to this. And there's a whole lot more. There's policy here, everybody. Even though we joke about Joe Biden and how easy is it to joke about Joe Biden?
Not a joke.
It's not a joke. It's so much a joke that it's not a joke. This is what pandering sounds like, everyone. And let me make sure I get to, let's see where I can find this. Oh, did it went away. Wait a minute. Here it is. Okay. Just want to make sure I didn't lose it. This is what pandering sounds like. Jake, you ready? Listen to this. This is Joe Biden walking up to a podium in Florida. And it's Hispanic Heritage Month. He's visiting in the I-4 corridor. He's with the Latino community, and he steps up to the podium and does this so naturally.
I just have one thing to say.
Reaches for his cell phone.
Hang on here. I tell you what, if I had the talent of any one of these people, I'd be elected president by acclamation.
Now, for those that don't know, Jake, would you like to explain what song that was? Did you catch it? Did you hear what song that was?
That was so disrespectful.
Okay. Oh, no, pandering. It's different. It's not disrespectful. What was it? Do you know what song it was?
I couldn't.
Despacito, right? That wasn't...
Despacito? Is that what it was?
Remember that? Okay. And for those that don't know, it's an interesting song when you read the lyrics. It's some might say it's sexually graphic, but maybe that's too far. I mean, this generation is used to all kinds of stuff like. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that Joe Biden just takes it off of his cell phone because everybody knows that's on Joe Biden's playlist on his phone. Like it just, when Joe's cruising in the car with Jill, Joe and Jill sitting in the back seat of the cruiser, and it's like, hey, let's put a song on. It happens to be Despacito, which was one of the biggest songs in the country. It was a huge number one hit. I mean, it was on, you look it up, it was a...
Yeah, I think Justin Bieber did a verse in Spanish on it, too.
Yeah, and if Justin Bieber's on the song, then if the Biebs is on the song, you know that Joe Biden's all about it. Because of the Biebs. Even shake like that one. Okay. Come on. So, Joe Biden with his favorite song off his cell phone. But listen, it's really ultimately about what Joe Biden wants to do, some of his thoughts on policy. Let's get into that, because Joe Biden in the state of Florida yesterday did have a lot to say about that.
Part of what I'm going to send to the United States Congress is a total immigration bill to provide a pathway to citizenship for undocumented people in the United States of America. It makes no sense for us not to do that. And they're part of the reason why we're growing. They're part of the reason why, look, you have 24 out of every 100 kids in grades in school today are Latino, Spanish speaking. It makes no sense, none whatsoever, for us to walk away and not provide for access, not provide for education, not provide for health care. Look what's going on.
Okay, so pathway illegals providing services, health care. And the first 100 days.
There are going to be no deportations in the first 100 days of my campaign.
Let me get that right. You are going to freeze deportations?
Freeze deportations for the first 100 days.
No deportations for the first 100 days. Now, I want you to think about these policies and think about this logically, because again, as we've had fun with Joe Biden and some of the things that come off the cuff and some of the things that he says, and you never know what it's going to be.
Fat and sassy.
I don't think that's one of them. The truth is that behind all of this is policy. Behind all of this is the first 100 days. Think about how long that is. The first 100 days, no deportations. How many people do you think might want to rush into the country and be part of no deportations for the first 100 days? I'm just throwing ideas out here. To possibly be part of that, which could ultimately be, hey, you don't have to go anywhere at all. Come on in, because we're not sending you out. Does that make sense? Again, this isn't the thoughtful, possibly the next president of the United States' ideas of what would be logical policy for the United States at this moment in time. This is something that the left has always wanted. This is something Democrats have always wanted to do. And Joe Biden and the progressive left and the media are more than happy to rush the borders and have people come in unabated, only to have to say to them, you got to leave. Oh, no, that's not what they're going to say at all. They're going to say, as a matter of fact, for the first 100 days, no deportations. Nobody has to leave. So why not have everybody come in? And especially when you consider the statement before that, which is finding this pathway. If you can envision Joe Biden and a Senate that is Democrat-led and a House that's Democrat-led, how do you think all of this goes, and how fast does it all play out? So just some thought there. All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, let's take a break. When we come back, some more audio from Joe Biden and his visit to the state of Florida. Some of the other things that he talked about. The president making historic Middle East peace deals. And the media and the left yawns. Barack Obama couldn't get it done. George W. Bush couldn't get it done. But it even went a step further. You should hear how the media talked about this historic day at the White House yesterday. You're not going to believe the way CNN reported this. We'll have it coming up. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here is Sabrina Katz.
You cannot get onto I-75 or off of I-75 from Alico Road as of right now. There's a police investigation on Alico. Also shut down on Alico between Oriole and I-75, so you can't access Three Oaks. The best way to navigate around this, if you're more northbound, stick to Daniels Parkway. If you're more south, stick to Corkscrew. Also heading south of Alico on Three Oaks all the way to Corkscrew Road is up to speed, so you can access I-75 the quickest way from Three Oaks on Corkscrew. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, about 89 to 90 degrees. Good amount of cloud cover still mixing in as we have the chance for some scattered showers and storms. A few this morning and then scattered this afternoon and this evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Apple's betting on health. The company gave everyone a look at its new smartwatch that can measure blood oxygen and showed off a virtual fitness service during its first online product reveal. Streaming services, one of the industries to benefit from the pandemic, keep growing. Viacom CBS says it plans to launch an expanded version of its CBS All Access early next year and rebrand it as Paramount Plus. Toilet paper is making a comeback to store shelves, but you may not recognize some of the brands. Many retailers are reaching overseas to fill their baskets, mostly with Mexican TP. And stocks rose as big tech shares recouped some of their recent losses. The Nasdaq gained 133 points, the Dow up just 2. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
Today, everyone is expecting you to maintain a new level of clean, from customers and employees to students and staff. Cintas has the essential products and services to help you carry out cleaning protocols effectively. We'll keep you well stocked with cleaning supplies, professionally laundered uniforms, and other essentials like face masks, hand sanitizer, and thermometers. Give everyone the confidence they need to keep coming back. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Trust all along.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
Mom, can we have some ice cream?
I've got a better idea. Who wants to help me make something fun and healthy instead?
Eating smarter is easy and delicious. Interested in receiving healthy recipes and a whole lot more in your email? Then register at healthiestweightfl.com and learn more about all the small steps that you can take on the way to living healthy. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. As a homeowner, safety is key in finding someone you trust to work on your home's electrical. Don't take chances. Call Mr. Sparky. All Mr. Sparky techs are trained, licensed, insured, and local. We always leave your home safer than we found it. And Mr. Sparky's straightforward pricing means no surprises. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Independently owned and operated, trained, insured, and local in respective state or county.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
Trust means that you are reliable and honest every single day.
Trust Chris Safadi.
I want to make sure that every individual person can rely on us.
Trust Jim Farrell.
My responsibility to the viewer is to be me, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hype anything.
Trust Lois Tomey.
I love this community. It's something I take so much responsibility for.
Wink News has been trustworthy since 1954. It's earned day by day.
Weeknights on Wink News at 6.
on the next Drew Barrymore show. I know I'm supposed to be asking you questions, but I love you so much. Can Jane Fonda be any cooler? You said you're swearing off men. Who has time? And your daily dose of Drew's news. Plus, Gabrielle Union helps us give back some confidence.
Drew Barrymore, today at 3 on Wink.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Oh my God!
Look, the whole street is stopped. There's a flying spaceship. Yo, look at that. Click everybody to the highway right now. I don't know, bro.
Bro, everybody's stopping and stopping their cars.
See, I'm convinced that this is what's happening with science. That's the sound of a bunch of people in New Jersey that were pulling over to the side of the highway yesterday because they thought they saw a UFO and it was the Goodyear blimp. They just didn't know. I'm convinced that that's,
But you're sure it was the Goodyear blimp?
Yes, I'm positive. That's it. Ultimately, it ended up being the Goodyear. But how many? That's what it is. That is the micro of the macro. You want to know all about UFO and UFO sightings? That's what it is. It's just people that don't know. They mistake it could be the Goodyear blimp. It could be anything. It could be the refractiveness of the refractor. Stuff. Like light off of the sky and different things. And of course, they did find recently about they're suggesting there might be life on Venus. We've been looking in the wrong place because the atmosphere around Venus is just static. It's always the same there. They found some kind of gas that can only be created by the death of living organisms or something. I mean, it's 2020. What do you expect? Of course, there's aliens out there. It's finding out all of this stuff now, as we should.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, my name is Jay, president of Big Island Builders. I come from a long line of builders. In fact, I can still remember my first day on the job, working for my dad. I thought because I was the boss's son that I would start out in the construction trailer, looking over plans all day. Well, to my surprise, he handed me a shovel and he said, start digging. And that's exactly what I did. He made me learn every aspect of the building process by doing it. So if that's the kind of builder that you're looking for, look no further than Big Island Builders. Big Island Builders.
All right, trying to bring you in on the conversation. I'm talking to Jake about this. And so you can see if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. We are streaming live. And please subscribe to the channel. And hopefully you have done that. And we're talking about how... So I'm telling everybody, Jake, that's watching right now on YouTube, I'm explaining to them what we're talking about off the air, which is, of course there's aliens in 2020. If you were going to introduce aliens... By the way, what? Can you put... I'd love for people to see you better. Can you put the light on in there now? All right. So Jake's going to put the light on it, and he'll be back on the mic. But that's the thing, everybody, is... And maybe you think it's crazy. See, this is kind of like the inside baseball stuff now that you're getting because you are subscribing to YouTube. Please subscribe. The subscription is down at the bottom someplace. If you were going to introduce aliens to the world, 2020 is the year because at this point, everybody believes it. No surprises. How could you possibly be so... Why not? Aliens, we've run out of toilet paper. What else?
Well, I mean, the fact that if an extraterrestrial being was coming from outer space, we would probably have to quarantine due to the fact that they might have some, different parts.
Right.
So we have already practiced that.
Right, we probably have to bring this to the air as well. We got to talk about this on the air. The fact that if aliens came to the United States and they landed and we know we're there, we would all have to quarantine to make sure we don't catch some kind of alien disease. And we've already done it. You're right. We got to bring it up. See, this is the kind of content you only get on YouTube. This is the behind the scenes as we're trying to brainstorm through what is going to be a crazy day. But thank you for watching. All right, let's see who's out there right now. All right, let's see. We got Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Jeff says, good morning, Drew and crew. Appreciate that. Good to see you, Jeff. We got our Biden 2020 guy back again.
Hello, Mr. Super, whatever your name is there. All right. Yeah, and Micah brought up something that we didn't talk about on the air. Thank you, Micah, that Despacito translates to slowly in English. Maybe we should bring that up again as well. All right. And Crypto wishes us a good average everyday morning. No, it's come on, Crypto, it's more than average. It's better than average. All right. All right. We'll be back in a minute.
A very long weather event. Just because it made landfall, this thing is still moving slowly, even though this wind and this rain. To put it in perspective, I've been sitting in a 5,600-ton Tahoe, and it is moving back and forth.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer in Mobile, Alabama, where she's seeing transformers blowing.
There's the upwards of 400,000 power outages because of this storm, and that's since about 1 o'clock this morning, local time.
In the Caribbean, Hurricane Teddy's a Category 2. Also, it could reach 4 by Thursday, according to the National Hurricane Center. And scientists see smoke from the western wildfires in the U.S. has reached as far as Europe. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A former teacher accused of sexually abusing students will be in court again this morning. Joseph Comparchio is accused of sexual misconduct with students in Michigan in the 70s. He used to work for the Canterbury School in South Fort Myers. Yesterday, he appeared in court, but the judge couldn't find the warrant, so the case was moved to today. Michigan officials want Comparchio extradited. Hurricane Sally's brought a lot of rain to Southwest Florida over the last few days. More rain means more nutrients, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But if there's too much, that's when we can run into problems. Right now, there's an advisory that algae is in the Shaughnessy Canal in Cape Coral. Local realtors say many people from up north are wanting homes in Florida. More people are moving to our state, but it's not just for the warmth and sunshine. Realtors say people think it's safer here, and they may also want to be moving here to vote since Florida's a swing state. Deputies arrested 2 men accused of trying to rob and then kill someone in a Snapchat drug deal gone wrong. They arrested 20-year-old Austin Moore and 18-year-old Christian Custo. Documents say they were involved in a deadly shooting August 14th along 56th Street West in Lehigh Acres. That was the same day and same location where teenager C.J. Wallace was killed. His family told us last week deputies made an arrest in his case. Harvest season's about to begin, and the Department of Agriculture wants to help keep our farm workers safe. It released a series of videos with tips, including mask safety, hand washing, and social distancing. The videos follow the launch of last week's heat illness prevention campaign. The Englewood Beach Waterfest is canceled. Its board of directors says looking at the current statistics and health concerns, they decided not to hold the November event. Last year set a record with event attendance, and with 75 boats racing, they have several other events still planned for 2021. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
You cannot get onto I-75 or off of I-75 from Alico Road as of right now. There's a police investigation on Alico. Also shut down on Alico between Oriole and I-75, so you can't access Three Oaks. The best way to navigate around this, if you're more northbound, stick to Daniels Parkway. If you're more south, stick to Corkscrew. Also heading south of Alico on Three Oaks all the way to Corkscrew Road is up to speed, so you can access I-75 the quickest way from Three Oaks on Corkscrew. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, scattered showers and storms, hit or miss of the forecast as temperatures will top out near 90 degrees. Gets a little bit hotter for you Thursday, your Friday. Lower 90 set to return with more chances for some pop-up spotty rain. Chance of storms as well as we hit the weekend with more lower 90s on the way. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Stevens.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. You hear AC technicians with all kinds of fancy titles in advertising like Comfort Specialist, Energy Maintenance Technician, Comfort Advisors, blah, blah, blah. So what's that all mean? It's simply a catchphrase for a salesman who isn't an air conditioning mechanic. Real mechanics have real NATE certifications. And if your company doesn't employ NATE certified mechanics, you're getting a sales tech at your house for service. A NATE certified mechanic has been to real air conditioning school and is tested for competency. So you know that your mechanic actually knows how to fix your air conditioner and not just sell you stuff. It's easy to spot the difference. Just ask for their NATE ID. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why pay more for a used car or truck? Model year-end sales event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Model year-end sales event going on now at Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24-month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 to sign plus tax, title, dealer, and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval expires month end.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
One thing we've all learned from this devastating pandemic is that preparedness provides protection. Hurricane forecasters are calling for an above-average season this year. So now is the time to take steps to protect your home from Mother Nature's worst. Hi, I'm Keith from Storm Shield. Our mission at Storm Shield is to provide the very best storm protection available and to make the process as easy as possible. Don't take it from me, though. Listen to what our customers say or check out our testimonials online at stormshieldSWFL.com.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. Storm Shield Windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield windows.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldswfl.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News. Streaming live on YouTube. Anytime you want to watch, it's Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate that. Helps to keep us going on both Facebook and YouTube. As we do each and every day, 6:50 and 7:50. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. That's coming up in just a couple of more minutes. Well, we've got about 10 more minutes, so get ready for that. You know what I need right now, just quickly before we move on to some of the other topics of the day? I need my morning cup of joe.
Sit back with your morning cup of joe.
Not a joke. Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure and hell take care of running a department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies' department or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. It's Joe Biden yesterday, the Veterans Roundtable. He's speaking, and can I quote what he said? Maybe if you put music behind it, it might help. Let's see. Because if you take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure in hell take care running a department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies' department or whatever, you know what I mean. No, the music didn't help either. But a little bit of Joe to get our day started. We'll have more audio on Joe Biden and his visit to the state of Florida and some of the other things that were discussed. By the way, a Wink News story that I wanted to talk about coming up this morning. As I see the headline and I heard the bottom of the hour news, people could be moving to Florida because it's a swing state? People could be moving to Florida because it's a swing state. Isn't that a bigger story that we should probably expand on it? If people are moving to the state because it's a swing state and they want to vote, that's why they're coming here, because they want to make a difference in, the idea that people move to Southwest Florida, for example, because the weather is beautiful. We want to get away from maybe some of the bad politics that are taking place from where we're moving from to the state. How are you? Are you voting like our way? Are you voting as a Southwest Florida conservative? Look at Jake. What do you think, Jake? If they're coming here and it's a swing state and they want to vote, how do you suppose that vote's going down? They're probably
to the left.
Yeah, that's to the left. A little worried about it. We should talk about that more coming up. So we will. And also amendments, something very important on the ballot. Besides the presidency and down ballot, all the races, we also have amendments in the state of Florida. A very important amendment on minimum wage we're going to talk about at 7:05, and we'll dig into this topic as well. So that's coming up. By the way, on the break, in case you missed it, if you were watching on YouTube, one of the perks is you get to hear us talking back and forth. The break, Jake and I were talking about the issues with aliens and saying, look, 2020, of course you're going to let people know that there's life on Venus or they found alien life. Why, Jake? Because just like we said, this is the perfect year to prepare you for this.
Just in case there's like an alien disease or, cold that the aliens have, we've already practiced the quarantine, so we've got that.
See? We'd have to quarantine ourselves from the aliens, and what better year than 2020 to let everybody know that there are alien life forms that have landed here on the planet or they exist, than to make sure you have to quarantine for maybe 6 months or so until we figure out what kind of stuff they're bringing.
Or maybe we're the aliens and it's almost time for us to go home.
It's almost time for who to go home? Like
Us,
this isn't our home. We have to go. It's like E.T. go home, phone home.
Plot twist, we're the aliens.
I wonder if Joe Biden, I wonder if aliens have Despacito on their phones when they phone home. Like, does E.T. have Despacito on his phone as well, just like Joe Biden? Which I was informed that Despacito, if you translate it in Spanish, means slowly. So there you go.
Sleepy Joe.
Little Sleepy Joe, Slow Joe. Oh, my. Look at where we've gone this morning. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Yes, the President of the United States bringing and stepping forward. Peace in the Middle East on the way. Is that possible?
Will now sign the Abraham Accords. They will each sign 4 copies, 1 in English, 1 in Hebrew, and 2 in Arabic.
Do we realize how historic this is? Welcoming to the White House, Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, the foreign ministers representing the UAE and Bahrain, signing the Abraham Accord, a history-making agreement, history in the making, everybody, that sees 2 Muslim nations formally normalize their relationship with the world's only Jewish state. And then the president even saying, there may be more on the way, everybody, more on the way. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it was any other president to be able to pull this off? Anybody else that could have done this and what we would be talking about today?
2.5 years ago.
And what about the idea that there'd be more?
I spoke with the King of Saudi Arabia. at the right time, I do think they will come in. Yes, I do. This is a very big and very historic moment, and I think everyone agrees to that. But we'll have other countries coming in fairly rapidly.
Fairly rapidly, more countries coming into play here. So a little bit of the inside baseball and what's being discussed, and the people that I've talked to in the past 24 hours are saying that the one common denominator in making all of this happen and everything coming to fruition with these agreements is that the Palestinians have not been part of the discussion. That seems to be the common denominator forever, for the longest time. Everything depended on this discussion between, when it comes to Middle East peace, the Palestinians had to be part of the discussion. We put the Palestinians on the sidelines, the ones that were always holding it up. As a matter of fact, from Gaza, there overnight missiles being fired into Israel after this agreement. You take the Palestinians out, and now all of a sudden there are a cascade of countries that want peace. Outside the box thinking, the kind of thinking that has not happened in the swamp, the kind of thinking that doesn't happen with your typical DC elites who know everything and know exactly how it has to be done. And then you can tell it's historic, and you can tell that it's important because of the reaction of the left and the reaction from the media. Wolf Blitzer with Nancy Pelosi yesterday. What about this agreement? What do you think there, Nancy? It's pretty historic. Bahrain, Israel, UAE, normalizing relations, and...
Well, hopefully they won't. Hopefully that will be beneficial to the region. We've been waiting for a very long time for the president's proposal for an Israeli-Palestinian peace agreement that honored the two-state solution. It was coming in 2 weeks. It was coming in 2 months. It was coming in 6 months. It still hasn't come in any way that has brought peace. So good for him for having a distraction on a day when the numbers of people who are affected and the numbers of people who are dying from this virus only increases. Since we passed...
Okay, just stop. So Nancy Pelosi's answer to a historic peace agreement in the Middle East is, hey, good for that guy for taking away and distracting us from the deaths that are happening on the streets of America as we speak, and the coronavirus. What? You know and I know that if Barack Obama would be able to pull that off, it may have started out that way. But you know and I know that the world would have stopped, that we would be talking about this 24/7 nonstop, the only president that would be able to do this, the only one that could make this happen, and he didn't, neither did others. And again, you ask yourself why, and I just told you why, because of who was excluded from the conversation, who's always been the obstacle, and who, in Donald Trump, has been someone who is thinking outside of the box and not going by what Nancy Pelosi said and the usual perspective of how you have to do things to create peace in the Middle East. And that's not only the way that Nancy Pelosi was speaking about it, but how about, well, why don't we just go to CNN in general? And Jake Tapper was talking about it yesterday in the reports on how this was all happening. I mean, it's, well, let's see how CNN reported this historic peace agreement there at the White House.
President Trump presided over a signing ceremony at the White House today as Israel established formal ties with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain.
Yeah, it's going to be peace in the Middle East.
But all right. So far, so good. I mean, at least we're not talking about COVID or anything, right?
The signing of the accords that Trump hailed as historic also drew attention because hundreds of guests were packed on the South Lawn with little social distancing and optional masks.
Wait. So CNN was saying, yeah, they signed this agreement. But do you see no social distancing, no masks, no care about COVID? Can you believe this? Well, I mean, they didn't keep talking about it over and over. I mean,
Among the hundreds of guests were top officials who flouted COVID-19 precautions, including Attorney General Bill Barr.
I can't do it. This went on for another minute. Another minute. That's what they reported on. Ask yourself 10 years, 20 years, 50 years from now in a historic peace agreement that could cascade into even more peace in the Middle East, Donald Trump, President of the United States, able to do this. Is that going to be the talk about the fact that somebody wasn't wearing a mask and there was no social... Really? Do you honestly think that? No. And the answer is no. So what do we know? We know that just buckle up, because when, prayers and fingers crossed, however, Donald Trump gets 4 more years as president of the United States. Let's go to break, Jake. Understand that the fight does not end after November 3rd. That this will continue. A media that will do things like this. Even when there is history in the making, we will still get this. Just be prepared for it. There are other places to go and other places that you can get information like here, this show, and this station. All right. That's how you are right all along, and you've always been. You are here, and we appreciate that about you and the fact that we listen to the media, and it's like, let's all make sense of this together. And we do, and you do, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for calling right now. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. You caller number 3 at 239-479-5592. Third caller right now. We'll play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Traffic, here's Sabrina Katz.
As of right now, if you are heading out towards Alico Road, you cannot get onto the interstate if you're heading from Three Oaks. You can if you're heading from Ben Hill Griffin. There's also a closure on Three Oaks between Winged Foot and Alico. So if you're looking to head to I-75, head southbound on Three Oaks to Corkscrew. That's going to be your quickest alternate. Or you can head southbound to Estero Parkway and head to 41. The Trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Halfway through the week, 90 degrees for your Wednesday with more clouds, some sunshine with the chance for some pop-ups, scattered showers and storms, especially for this afternoon and all the way into the early evening hours. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh. Schools in rich California districts are planning to open a lot sooner than the schools in poor Latino neighborhoods, reports the LA Times. The affluent Capistrano Unified School District ready to let students go back to class at the end of September. But in Santa Ana, 25 miles away, it'll be at least November before the poor and Latino students can return. In L.A., where more poor students live, school officials aren't even sure when they'll open again. Maybe November, maybe later. Children in these poor areas have been hardest hit by the shutdown, and now they'll be hardest hit again because they have to stay shut down while rich kids in affluent neighborhoods can go back to school and get on with their lives. In liberal victimology, this story is a twofer. We have racism against Latino children, and we have income inequality. Poor and minority children who are already suffering are going to suffer even more. Now, who runs California? Who controls both houses of the state legislature and the governor's mansion? It's Democrats, folks. Who runs all these communities, rich and poor? It's Democrats. The Democrats know what's happening in their state. They know that poor and Latino children are being harmed, and they're doing nothing, not one thing, to solve the problem, which means it's business as usual. Why don't they care about the poor? Last year, there was a victim of identity theft every 3 seconds. That means a cyber bad guy could be selling your personal info on the dark web without you even knowing it. That's just one form of identity theft. Now, you might miss certain threats to your identity by just relying on bank statements or monitoring your credit. The solution? LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock sees certain threats that you could miss on your own. Plus, if you become a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will help you fix your problems. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can help protect your personal information. Get your free dark web scan when you join now and save up to 25% off your first year. Do this. Go to lifelock.com/scan. Use the promo code RUSH. That's lifelock.com/scan. Promo code RUSH for 25% off.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Hello, Southwest Florida. I'm Anthony with the American Tradesman Show, and my guest, Gerald Prevet from B&K Water Extraction and Mold Services, and his brother, Brian Prevet from Prevet Plumbing, and my partner, Juan Silva from American Electrical. Join us each week, Saturday mornings between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., where we talk about something new in the construction field, educating you on anything with the new codes, new requirements, and also the materials and the products that we use on these shows. So we look forward to you listening to our show. God bless America and Semper Fi. Hoorah!
Retirement questions? You can bet Bob Grace probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday at noon for Retire with Grace. It's your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to help maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Join us, Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Roger. Roger's in Punta Gorda. Hello, Roger. Hello, Roger. Oh, I got to. Sorry. That's me, Roger. I have to push the button, and then I'm so used to Jake pushing buttons, but that's me. Hi, Roger.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Roger, who is the Speaker of the House as we speak?
Pelosi.
That is correct, sir. A little extra bonus for you. All right, you got an associate's. Let's see if we get a bachelor's degree on this question. Hillary Clinton used a private server to send classified information via this type of communication. What type of communication was it?
Email.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. Let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. What's the symbol of the Republican Party? It is an...
elephant.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. The amount of amendments we have in the Constitution. How many amendments do we have in the Constitution? 26, 27, or 28?
27.
That is correct, sir. Roger, you're brilliant. You were, not only are you right all along, but you were right all along. Good for you. Congratulations. You got a PhD today on Drew's College. That Punta Gorda air must be just making people wise like you. I don't know where I was going.
It always is.
It always is. See, that's you saved me. All right, Roger, stay right there, okay? You get to talk to Jake. What a thrill.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, when we come back, we are going to talk to Sal Nuzzo, who is with James Madison Institute. Amendment 2, there are amendments to the Florida Constitution we have to talk about because you will be voting on them. And then this news story, people could be moving to Florida because it's a swing state?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue, a lot of you know about. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission. That was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, maintenance, tires, you name it. Those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs, 239-992-2626, 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake the Millennial for AMCO Bonita Springs.
Let's talk buttons. Not the buttons on clothes, the ones that do things. The ones that beg the question, what's that button do? There's just something satisfying about pressing buttons. And now, if you have sleep apnea and can't use CPAP, there's a button you can press that's really satisfying. It lets you go from sleeping like this to this. It's called Inspire, and it's as simple as, you guessed it, clicking a button. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device implanted in a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A former teacher accused of sexually abusing students will be in court again this morning. Joseph Comparchio is accused of sexual misconduct with students in Michigan in the 70s. He used to work for the Canterbury School in South Fort Myers. Yesterday, he appeared in court, but the judge couldn't find the warrant, so the case was moved to today. Michigan officials want Comparchio extradited. Hurricane Sally's brought a lot of rain to Southwest Florida over the last few days. More rain means more nutrients, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But if there's too much, that's when we can run into problems. Right now, there's an advisory that algae is in the Shaughnessy Canal in Cape Coral. Local realtors say many people from up north are wanting homes in Florida. More people are moving to our state, but it's not just for the warmth and sunshine. Realtors say people think it's safer here, and they may also want to be moving here to vote since Florida's a swing state. Deputies arrested two men accused of trying to rob and then kill someone in a Snapchat drug deal gone wrong. They arrested 20-year-old Austin Moore and 18-year-old Christian Custo. Documents say they were involved in a deadly shooting August 14th along 56th Street West in Lehigh Acres. That was the same day and same location where teenager C.J. Wallace was killed. His family told us last week deputies made an arrest in his case. Harvest season's about to begin, and the Department of Agriculture wants to help keep our farm workers safe. It released a series of videos with tips, including mask safety, hand washing, and social distancing. The videos follow the launch of last week's heat illness prevention campaign. The Englewood Beach Waterfest is canceled. Its board of directors says looking at the current statistics and health concerns, they decided not to hold the November event. Last year set a record with event attendance and with 75 boats racing. They have several other events still planned for 2021. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
As of right now, if you are heading out towards Alico Road, you cannot get onto the interstate if you're heading from Three Oaks. You can if you're heading from Ben Hill Griffin. There's also a closure on Three Oaks between Wingfoot and Alico. So if you're looking to head to I-75, head southbound on Three Oaks to Corkscrew. That's going to be your quickest alternate, or you can head southbound to Estero Parkway and head to 41. The Trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, scattered showers and storms, hit or miss of the forecast as temperatures will top out near 90 degrees. Gets a little bit hotter for you Thursday, your Friday. Lower 90 set to return with more chances for some pop-up spotty rain. Chance of storms as well as we hit the weekend with more lower 90s on the way. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2019 Buick Encore SUV with only 584 miles for $20,000. Practically a new car for thousands less. Or a 2004 Buick Park Avenue with only 56,000 miles. Florida Condo Car for $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Riddle, your host of The Drive here. Do you have your COVID mask on? Do you wear your mask with glasses? Maybe you've experienced, as Dr. France calls it, the fog. Oh man, it's terrible. Even if you're not doing prescription, just sunglasses, it's horrible. So it's unwanted, it's horrible, and it's just frustrating as heck. You need to check out Laser Vision Correction with France Eye Care. I did the LASIK procedure with them, and it changed my life. Dr. France and his team of expert surgeons offer several different procedures like LASIK, like I had. Visian ICL, PRK, refractive lens exchange, and more. It gives you better vision with a design that meets the needs of your individual eyes. Call today for a free LASIK screening. Just dial star 2020 on your mobile phone, star 2020, or give them a shout 239-418-0999.
Friends, I care.
We are celebrating halfway to St. Paddy's Day on September 17th. Join me, Tony, and the Anthony's gang for the best corned beef and cabbage, green beer, and live entertainment all day.
Pre-order your corned beef and cabbage now for takeout or reserve to dine in. Enjoy live music on the patio September 17th. Expanded lunch and dinner menus now available. Favorites like the New York Strip and Meatloaf are back. Anthony's on the Boulevard, 1303 Del Prado Boulevard South. Call 772-5900 or join their VIP club at anthony'sontheblvd.net and receive a free breakfast buffet.
NATO America's listening.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad to see you here. Glad you're joining us. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Each and every day we stream live so you can watch on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you wouldn't mind to continue to do that, keeps us going on both YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate it. Coming up, we're going to talk about this story. Seems the headline, to me at least, is interesting. People could be moving to Florida because it's a swing state. Really? What are they planning on doing? Maybe not right now, but what are they planning on doing in the future? Let's hope it's not about coming to the state of Florida and bringing policies that have been failed in other states here to the state of Florida and to Southwest Florida. And speaking of failed policies that could come to the state of Florida, how's that for a lead right there for Sal Nuzzo, who's joining us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Sal is the VP of Policy and Director for the Center for Economic Prosperity at James Madison Institute. It's Drew Steele. How are you this morning, Sal?
Doing great, and that is absolutely the perfect segue to talk about Amendment 2 on the ballot on November 3rd.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we're still having this conversation, Sal. I want you to go into what Amendment 2 is about specifically, and then speak to this, which is you would imagine that when policymakers look at things that might come to their desk that would be presented to the people of the state, that if you had evidence to show, I don't know, maybe it's a bad idea, that you might want to use that evidence to say no, but instead we have this amendment that is going to be coming up, voted on by the citizens of Florida. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, Amendment 2 is quite simply a $15 minimum wage across the state of Florida with an increase after the $15 to inflation. So it would more than double the federal minimum wage in the state. It would increase Florida's minimum wage from about $8.56 an hour up to $15. And as you mentioned, it is importing the worst possible economic policies of places like San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and others who have tried this type of a policy and have seen their economies just get crippled. So the initiative itself it gathered signatures to get on the ballot. The legislature has not done anything on this. The current minimum wage is kind of tied to increases each year, but the amendment itself will be on the ballot on November 3rd, and if 60% of the voters you kind of vote for it, it gets enacted. And as you could imagine, it would devastate jobs in the state. It would basically import the worst elements of those places like San Francisco and Chicago to the entire state of Florida. And really, most importantly right now, it would cripple Florida's economy at a time when we're really struggling to recover from the COVID pandemic.
Yeah. Now, for those that watch and listen to this program, Sal, and I do have people that are, let's just say, left-leaning, and they certainly like to have their voices heard every once in a while. They may say, oh, well, now you're being hyperbolic because what you're doing now is you're bringing in it's just because it's cities, Seattle, San Francisco, Chicago, Democrat-led cities. You're trying to make this comparison of failures, Democrat cities. Yeah, pretty much. And not only that, but literally maybe speak to, I hate that word literally, but I used it. What happened in these cities? I mean, we have evidence, right, Sal, of how it had destroyed and has destroyed businesses, small businesses, when this is enacted.
Oh, sure. The proof is in the places that have already tried it, and it's failed in just about every single instance. Wages, when wages went up, hours of work decline, less pay for lower wage workers. Mm-hmm. Businesses are forced to close. It leaves workers without jobs altogether, and it hurts the very people that those supporting the amendment purport to help.
Yeah.
So if you look at cities like Seattle and San Francisco, they're overcome by poverty, crime, unrest. And so the question that I continually ask is, why would we want to bring a failed policy like that to the entire state of Florida?
Yeah, and let me ask this question, too. Sal Nuzzo is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's the Vice President of Policy and Director for the Center for Economic Prosperity at James Madison Institute. And let me ask you this, because Sal, there will be people that will say, well, hold on a second. We have these big companies like I don't know, Amazon or eBay, whoever it is. They're paying their employees $15 an hour. And so it just shows that it works. I mean, they're willing to do it. But the distinction is left out, which number one is they didn't do it by government edict. They did it because they can do it and wanted to do it and chose to do it, number one. And number two, they are big enough. Is it fair to say that they're big enough to handle those increases where it's the smaller businesses that are really the ones that get hurt? And we know how many people work in a small business. Is that fair? Is that right?
100% fair. 2/3 of Florida's jobs are created by small businesses. These are businesses that are not Amazon and Universal and Disney and those. They're mom and pop establishments from Pensacola to Key West. Now, when a company that decides to pay its workers $15 an hour as a starting wage, we call that the free market. Yeah. It's a great thing. When the government mandates it, here's what happens. It's going to increase payroll costs for those small businesses by as much as 77%, is what a couple of economists have found. businesses are going to be forced to pay exponentially more to keep jobs, and consequently, they're going to do a couple things. They're going to cut back on hours, they're going to reduce jobs, and some are just not going to even be able to stay open as a result of this.
Yeah. And so there would be people that would say, like, I'm looking at some of the texts that are coming in, and maybe you can even respond. Mike in Cape Coral said the increase in prices due to increased minimum wage would be a pay cut for everyone on Social Security. Is he right about that?
100%. 100%. Yeah. If you can think of a small business, think about a restaurant that's, the minimum wage is a starting wage for workers. Largely youth are the majority of folks who earn it. So if a small business or restaurant has got to double its prices, those folks on a fixed income, in Florida is a retirement state. Those folks are going to be paying more. It's ultimately going to be a wage income pay cut across the board.
Yeah. So Amendment 2 is one we certainly want to say no to. If you're listening, that is definitely a no on 2. And, as we head into the November election, sometimes we get distracted by, obviously, the presidential elections, certainly important downstate ballots, but the amendment process is also important. So then, Sal, the question becomes on the other side of this, from the other side, well, what do we do then, Sal? What do we do? We have individuals that are working and they're at these jobs for a long period of time and they're just not making enough to get by. So what is the answer? What's the solution? And it's obvious what the solution is, right?
Well, the ultimate solution is what Florida has seen over the 25 years we've enacted pro-growth, pro-business climate policies. Up until the COVID pandemic hit, right. We saw more income, more wealth, and more population migrate to Florida than any other state in the United States. Why did it come here? It came here to start businesses. It came here to pursue the American dream, and they've largely been successful. We certainly need to continue to diversify Florida's economy, promote high-tech industry, and those types of activities. But that's a very separate argument from an idea that's just a failed policy in every single place it's been tried in the past.
Yeah, and again, that is the key takeaway from this discussion is you have the evidence to show that it is a failure. Why would you want to vote for failure in the state of Florida? It just makes sense. And it's obvious. It's right in front of our eyes. It isn't something that is hyperbolic by any stretch. It's right there, the evidence, the data, and we know it. And so that is certainly something we have to recognize when it comes to saying no on Amendment 2. All right, Sal Nuzzo, I appreciate a few minutes of your time. Vice President of Policy and Director of the Center for Economic Prosperity. You can go to jamesmadison.org. You can read more about him. And, of course, they do great work there at JMI, and I always appreciate a few minutes, sir. Hey, we'll do this again soon. I would love to talk about other amendments as well. So all the best, and we'll see you soon.
Anytime. Thanks a lot for having me.
All right, all the best. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. And certainly that is going to be a part of what we will discuss in just a second as we go to break right now. And it's the story in Wink News. People could be moving to Florida because it's a swing state. Really, that's why they're coming here, because they want to be part of the politics in the state. In what way? They want to come here to help to enforce and to encourage pro-growth policies, to stay away from amendments like Amendment 2, to say no to these minimum wage, $15 minimum wage debacles that we see across the country in Democrat-led states? Or are they coming here for another reason? We can talk about that coming up next. Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
You can access I-75 from Alico Road if you're heading west of Ben Hill. You cannot if you're heading from Three Oaks. That 75 is backed up between Alico and Corkscrew. 41 is the best way to navigate around as of right now. If you're in Collier County, there is a crash at Oilwell Road and Everglades Boulevard. Now, reports of injury here, as well as some slowing traffic westbound on Oilwell. And this slowdown lasts for almost about a mile and a half heading towards Immokalee Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Halfway through the week, 90 degrees for your Wednesday with more clouds, some sunshine with the chance for some pop-ups, scattered showers and storms, especially for this afternoon and all the way into the early evening hours. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News. News and smart views.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau here, owner of D.R. Martineau Roofing of Southwest Florida. We're still finding a lot of roofs with hurricane and windstorm damage. Call us today for a free inspection. Google DRM Roofing or call 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1HOUR.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Do the math. Taking care of your pool is probably not a good use of your time and money. Free $50 Bonefish gift certificates when you sign up for one of our award-winning weekly service plans. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
It's Rockstar Harley's pre-owned black and orange tag sale this week. Hundreds of Harleys tagged with liquidation pricing. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. 100% of applications accepted. Save thousands this week. Only at Rockstar Harley's pre-owned black and orange tag sale. It ends this Sunday.
Trust means that you are reliable and honest every single day.
Trust Chris Safadi.
I want to make sure that every individual person can rely on us.
Trust Jim Farrell.
My responsibility to the viewer is to be me, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hype anything.
Trust Lois Tomey.
I love this community. It's something I take so much responsibility for.
Wink News has been trustworthy since 1954. It's earned day by day.
Weeknights on Wink News at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show. I know I'm supposed to be asking you questions, but I love you so much. Can Jane Fonda be any cooler? You said you're swearing off men. Who has time? And your daily dose of Drew's news. Plus, Gabrielle Union helps us give back some confidence.
Drew Barrymore, today at 3 on Wink.
For some, news is about their opinions. We believe the news should give you the facts without bias, so you can form your own. We believe in news, not talk. Facts, not opinions. News Nation is on every night, 8/7 Central on WGN America, to give you the information you need. Everyone calls it the news, but we'll actually deliver on it. 7 nights a week in prime time. Find your local channel by going to WGNAmerica.com. News Nation. It's your news, your nation.
Divorce can be complicated, even more so if there are children involved. If you're a father and want to protect your rights, consider Cordell & Cordell. As a partner men can count on, they have helped men with matters like these for 30 years. Visit CordellCordell.com to learn more.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Cordell & Cordell, Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Announcers are not licensed attorneys.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 239-479-5592. I'm just laughing because Joe Biden in Florida yesterday, and when he had his staff was asked about the whole teleprompter. Is Joe using a teleprompter or?
How do you respond to the criticism that has we've seen this all over about the vice president using a teleprompter during some of these interviews?
Yeah, what do you say about that?
Oh, well, I mean, first of all, I would say very clearly the vice president uses a teleprompter. On occasion, you see it as giving a speech, but he is also out there every day taking questions from reporters. You're seeing that today. He's in Florida and will continue to take questions. I think he took questions 4 or 5 times out on the stump and out of his travel last week.
Okay, so I just got to stop for a second. Just let's remind ourselves that when Joe Biden was not on a teleprompter, or excuse me, he wasn't on a teleprompter when he said.
Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure and hell take care of running a, department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies' department or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. So that's when Joe's not on a teleprompter, and when Joe's on a said teleprompter, Joe Biden says what he said.
Harris-Biden administration is going to relaunch that effort and keep pushing further to make it easier for military spouses and veterans.
Okay, so when he's on it, he's calling it the Harris-Biden administration. So somebody's punking him. Somebody's either putting that in there or it's coming off the top of his head when he's reading the teleprompter. And then when he's not reading the teleprompter, it shouldn't be off the top of his head. And I don't know. I really feel bad that Joe Biden is going to have to debate the president of the United States one-on-one. I can't imagine that without the teleprompter, it's going to be pretty. But having said that, be careful what you wish for about debates in a couple of weeks, because if we all talk about Joe Biden, follow this logic. If we all talk about Joe Biden as on teleprompter, he's a mess. Off the teleprompter, he's even worse. It's just awful. Then how low has the bar been set for him if he shows up in a debate? If he barely says anything and hardly makes a mistake, let's say he spends 90 minutes with Donald Trump and makes 4 mistakes. Well, he didn't make 10. He's fine, everybody. Everything's okay. The bar is low. Just saying. All right, 239-479-5592. When we come back, I had a conversation yesterday with a talk show host at KTAR, a station in Phoenix. I wanted to talk to them. It's swing state, find out his thoughts on what's happening. And you're going to find some of what he said really interesting, especially the fact that he's an independent. He's not pro-Trump or pro-Biden. But wait till you hear what he has to say coming up next.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Let's talk buttons. Not the buttons on clothes, the ones that do things. The ones that beg the question, what's that button do? There's just something satisfying about pressing buttons. And now, if you have sleep apnea and can't use CPAP, there's a button you can press that's really satisfying. It lets you go from sleeping like this to this. It's called Inspire, and it's as simple as, you guessed it, clicking a button. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device implanted in a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000. That's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. All new Jeep Gladiator Overland lease, $399 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab, lease for just $299 per month. That's right. Loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice. Just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days, featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
42 monthly, 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR with 0 down. Lender approval offers don't combine.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. Warnings as Hurricane Sally makes landfall overnight as a Category 2 in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
The National Weather Service said that the flooding is torrential. It is deadly. They are telling people if you are in a low-lying area, get out now.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer in Mobile, Alabama. President Trump denies he's downplayed the threat of the coronavirus.
What he told Bob Woodward for his new book. The president took questions during an ABC town hall with George Stephanopoulos.
In many ways, I upplayed it in terms of action. My action was very strong.
Asked whether he could have done more to stop the outbreak in the U.S., President Trump said, "I don't think so."
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. Joe Biden, during his first trip to Florida since winning the Democratic presidential nomination, accusing the president of assaulting the dignity of Hispanic families. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A former teacher accused of sexually abusing students will be in court again this morning. Joseph Comparchio is accused of sexual misconduct with students in Michigan in the 70s. He used to work for the Canterbury School in South Fort Myers. Yesterday, he appeared in court, but the judge couldn't find the warrant, so the case was moved to today. Michigan officials want Comparchio extradited. Hurricane Sally's brought a lot of rain to Southwest Florida over the last few days. More rain means more nutrients, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But if there's too much, that's when we can run into problems. Right now, there's an advisory that algae is in the Shaughnessy Canal in Cape Coral. Local realtors say many people from up north are wanting homes in Florida. More people are moving to our state, but it's not just for the warmth and sunshine. Realtors say people think it's safer here, and they may also want to be moving here to vote since Florida's a swing state. Deputies arrested 2 men accused of trying to rob and then kill someone in a Snapchat drug deal gone wrong. They arrested 20-year-old Austin Moore and 18-year-old Christian Custo. Documents say they were involved in a deadly shooting August 14th along 56th Street West in Lehigh Acres. That was the same day and same location where teenager C.J. Wallace was killed. His family told us last week deputies made an arrest in his case. Harvest season's about to begin, and the Department of Agriculture wants to help keep our farm workers safe. It released a series of videos with tips, including mask safety, hand washing, and social distancing. The videos follow the launch of last week's heat illness prevention campaign. The Englewood Beach Waterfest is canceled. Its board of directors says looking at the current statistics and health concerns, they decided not to hold the November event. Last year set a record with event attendance, and with 75 boats racing, they have several other events still planned for 2021. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
You can access I-75 from Alico Road if you're heading west of Ben Hill. You cannot if you're heading from Three Oaks. That 75 is backed up between Alico and Corkscrew. 41 is the best way to navigate around as of right now. If you're in Collier County, there is a crash at Oilwell Road and Everglades Boulevard. Now, reports of injury here, as well as some slowing traffic westbound on Oilwell. And this slowdown lasts for almost about a mile and a half heading towards Immokalee Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, scattered showers and storms, hit or miss of the forecast as temperatures will top out near 90 degrees.
Gets a little bit hotter for you Thursday, your Friday. Lower 90 set to return with more chances for some pop-up spotty rain. Chance of storms as well as we hit the weekend with more lower 90s on the way. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Retirement questions? You can bet Bob Grace probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday at noon for Retire with Grace. It's your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to help maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Join us, Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We are streaming live on YouTube each and every day. You hopefully know that. Just go to YouTube, you type in Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Helps to keep us going on both Facebook and YouTube. Also, coming up in 10 more minutes, as we do each and every morning, 6:50 and 7:50, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We will see if you earn a PhD. That is coming up. You know, I talked about this, and maybe you want to comment as well. This story from Wink News. More people are making a move to Florida, and it's not for the warmth and sunshine alone. A realtor says she's seeing people move to Florida because it's a swing state. There's so many reasons to move here, honestly, said Yenny Neal, a local realtor. Admits that some people possibly thinking of moving down so they can vote in a swing state as a bonus. Quote, I could see how it could be something people would do. It's a swing state, so of course it could go either way if we get a bunch of people with one political party versus another moving down here. Certainly it could make a difference. Jake's frowning. Even Jake, you're making a face. You can see, if you're watching on YouTube, Jake's got this, I'm not sure I like the way that sounds kind of look. You got the raised brow and everything. Look at you.
What is Bloomberg paying people to move here?
Oh, well, you never know. I wonder if there's a slush fund. That $100 million, you know, that Mike Bloomberg is kicking in, Mini Mike, to help, the election to be of Joe Biden, who says, the
truth over facts.
Yeah, truth over facts. Wonder if some of that money is your suggestion that some of the Bloomberg money is going to people who want to move here, and maybe there's some help and some incentive to kind of help to in the future sway the vote in one direction or the other, and that one direction may not exactly be conservative. Is that your suggestion, Jake?
We're talking about the same guy who spent $2 billion, so I had to see his face before every YouTube video that I ever watched, and he got completely destroyed in front of all of America.
You sound bitter.
No, I think he's paying people to move here.
Okay. We have no evidence of that, but Jake throws that out in such a way that, I don't know, maybe it could be true. For the millennials believe it. Of course, Jake's getting a lot of grief when he talks on his Call of Action Duty video game, where he's getting all kinds of grief about his voice and what he sounds like from 12-year-olds. You're being put down by 12-year-olds about your voice on Call of Duty? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. It's happened.
Well, tell them who you are. Tell them who you are. I'm Jake the Millennial. Don't make fun of me. It's kind of funny.
It is hilarious, actually.
It's actually sad, is what it is.
I'm getting roasted by 13-year-olds.
Well, let's move on. So when we hear this, the first reaction is, well, yeah, that's a concern. That people are going to move here to the state of Florida and bring their politics with them. And that is a bad thing, especially when we just got done talking about Amendment 2 in the state of Florida. Vote no on Amendment 2, minimum wage, $15 increase. It has destroyed businesses everywhere it's been done. It's just a fact. The evidence is out there. You can look for yourself, or you can go to YouTube later and replay the interview that we did with Sal Nuzzo, so you can listen to that from James Madison Institute. We explained. But I did have a conversation yesterday with Larry Gatos, who is a host at KTAR, a station in Phoenix, Arizona, KTAR News 92.3. And I wanted to ask him about what was happening in Arizona as a swing state. What's going on there? Now, I'm going to preface this interview by saying, number one, I didn't know politically where Larry stood until the interview. But the second part I want you to listen to carefully, because right after the interview took place yesterday afternoon, we come to find out that the FBI arrested an individual later in the day in connection with a drive-by shooting earlier in the day that resulted in a federal law enforcement officer being injured outside a Phoenix courthouse. This was just before the interview. They investigated. Again, people in Arizona were shocked. Here it is. There were some that were tweeting, listen, for all of you who say it's not coming to our city, here you go. It was a tweet that I was looking at yesterday. Federal officer shot in drive-by in downtown Phoenix. If you didn't think it could happen here, it just did. A federal officer just shot in front of the Sandra Day O'Connor Federal Building in a drive-by attack. It was before this interview took place. So I want you to listen carefully to the end of this interview where we kind of discuss something that I thought was interesting after finding out his political persuasion. And then I asked Larry first to start the interview there in Phoenix, the demographics. What's it like in Phoenix and then outside of the Phoenix area in the state of Arizona?
Well, I mean, when you look at Arizona, like in the past, it's usually a red state. There are a lot of retirees that come out here. People come out to Arizona to vacation because it's such a beautiful place. The big joke out here is, were you born in Phoenix? Probably not. You came in from Chicago or New York or what have you, Florida, what have you. So, I mean, this has been kind of a red state for a while. And, back in 2016, Trump beat Hillary by like 3 or 4 points out here in Arizona, which is pretty close. But now it's Biden plus 10 in like the last 4 polls that I've seen. And the interesting thing is Trump's been out here 5 times. He's sending his daughter out here this week. He's also sending Mike Pence out this week. Pence has been here like 2 or 3 times, and Biden has yet to come to Arizona, but he's still winning. And so if you believe the polls, there are 3 or 4 out there that say it's Biden plus 9, Biden plus 10.
Wow. All right. So then the big question, I guess, Larry, is do you believe the polls? What do you think?
I think I believe the polls. I mean, I don't know if it's 10, but, there are a lot of people who look at California and say this place is becoming a dump. I don't like the government in California. I don't like the wildfires. I don't, COVID is so bad. We're moving to Arizona. I think people from New York, too, are also moving to Arizona. So you got Californians and New Yorkers who are most likely Democrats. Yeah. They're moving to Arizona a lot, and especially, with COVID going on. So I think you're getting, I don't think we're blue. I've said for years that Arizona is more purple. We're more independent. We don't like to be told what to do. And so you've got a third Republican, a third Democrat, and then a third independent. But the blue may be starting to grow a little bit, more than certainly in the past.
Yeah, I spent a year in 2016, 2017 in Salt Lake City. And I can tell you that we used to call it San Francisco East because it was so liberal. It's so surprising to have this liberal bastion in what is a red state. But to your point, it's kind of what we're going through here in Florida, where we're telling people, listen, we appreciate that the New Yorkers love to be in the state of Florida and visit, but you've got to keep your politics there. And it's almost as if, but that's what's happening. It feels like on the West Coast with a lot of the states that we are seeing changing. Do you get that vibe as well? Clearly you do. Even the states around you.
Yeah, I mean, when I do my show, and I've done this for a while, I'll put it real bluntly. I don't like Republicans. I don't like Democrats. I don't like either party. So I'm an independent. So I can see the good that Trump does. And I can also see the chaos that he creates. With Joe Biden, I can see the good that he might bring, and I can also see the bad. So I'm telling my listeners the truth that I'm not sure who I'm going to vote for yet because, I'm kind of purple. I'm an independent. A lot of people in Arizona are independent. So, I think a lot of people have mostly figured out who they're going to vote for, but there's some independents like me that are kind of saying, well, we're not really sure. And, if the independent vote and what it looks like, it's going to go to Biden. It's going to be tough for Trump to win Arizona.
That's interesting you say that, Larry, because as an independent and somebody who's trying to see the best in both candidates and certainly can see where there may be trouble in both, with everything that's happening with the talk of defunding police and dismantling police departments and the chaos in cities, I'm not sure what it's like in Phoenix, and maybe you can speak to that directly, if what it's been like on the streets of Phoenix. But what is it, for example, about, let's say, Joe Biden that would make you feel like something could be different?
He's not Trump.
Is that all it is?
He doesn't. I don't really think he brings a whole lot to the table, to be honest with you. I think it's like, the race is Trump versus Trump. It's Trump running against himself. If you're going to go and vote, you're going to vote for Trump or you're going to vote against Trump. So it's not something that Biden would do. I don't think, listen, Trump was out here yesterday. They had a ton of people out in the streets that were Trump supporters. And, I think if Biden came out here, I don't know who's going to be in the street. I have no idea if he has, it's one of those things. Do people really like Biden? Probably not. I think they hate Trump. And if that's the way it goes down in Arizona, you either, basically love Trump or you hate him. And Joe Biden's just kind of there.
So if you had to predict today, what do you think? What would be the margin?
I don't know, man, but I think Biden could win Arizona. 10 points is a lot. It's probably not that.
Could you see Trump coming back? Is there any path for Trump in your eyes to get the state?
To win Arizona? Sure. Because you never know what's going to happen between now and, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks, because if he goes and he just clobbers Joe Biden in these debates, I think you see a lot of Arizonans say, hey, this guy is over the hill. What they are saying about him, he can't even put two sentences together. He can't stand toe-to-toe with the president. I mean, at least that guy's going to go and work for you. You might not like him, but at least he's going to go work for you. So a 10-point margin for Biden, it's his to lose. If he goes and he botches these debates, Arizonans are going to look at that and they're going to be like, yeah, we don't think you're ready. Your day has passed. We'll probably go with Trump.
Well, we'll continue to watch. I'd love to have you back on again to keep an eye on it as we get closer. I mean, less than 50 days now. So we'd love to see if things will change. The Gatos and Chad show is 2 to 6 p.m. there on KTAR News 92.3 in Phoenix, Arizona. And I appreciate a few minutes of your time, Larry. Hope we can do this again real soon. Thanks so much.
Hey, sounds good, man. Thank you very much.
That's an interesting interview to me, and I'll tell you why. Notice the last part. We come to find out he's an independent. He's not a fan of the president, not necessarily a fan of Joe Biden, but he sees it as a vote. You're voting against Trump. You're not voting for Biden. But he talked a lot about what could happen in the next a couple of weeks that could change the election and focusing on the debates. What if that's something? I'm reminding you of when the interview took place early yesterday afternoon. What if that's something that took place in Phoenix was what I described to you before I started the interview? You didn't think it could happen here? It just did. A federal officer was just shot in front of the Sandra Day O'Connor Federal Building in a drive-by attack. Multiple shots fired at an officer, struck in the vest. Injuries are believed to be non-life-threatening. Make no mistake, this is a direct result of the extremist anti-police attacks we have seen from BLM and Antifa across the country. This insanity needs to stop. That was a tweet from, I'm trying to see who that was. Okay, it was a Phoenix City councilman who tweeted that out yesterday. The point I was trying to make to Larry, and the point I would try to make to those here in the state and others across the country, is you realize if you're a never-Trumper, for example, and you just don't like the way the president tweets and you don't like his style. Of course, there's many peace deals and there's, fantastic numbers when it comes to the low unemployment and the economy, and we'll put all that aside. But if you hate the president that much, that you're willing to vote for Joe Biden, somebody who is talking about the defunding of police, that is going along with the left of the party that wants to dismantle police departments and has not stood up against BLM and Antifa across the country to the point where we start to see in their community things like this happening. I wonder if that changes his mind. I hope it does. So it'll be interesting in a couple of weeks maybe to talk to Larry once again and to get his view right after just maybe an hour after that interview this happened. 239-479-5592. Jake, you ready to go? Tell me yes. Say yes. There he is.
Yes.
Okay, good. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Caller number 5. Caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. Caller number 5, we will play Drew's College. We'll play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Unfortunately, as of right now, I-75 is backed up heading south of Alico towards Corkscrew. There is that shutdown on Alico between Oriole and the interstate, so you can't even access Three Oaks. The best way to navigate around this, guys, stick to US 41. You can navigate around the whole thing, and it'll be much faster for you. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Halfway through the week, 90 degrees for your Wednesday with more clouds, some sunshine with the chance for some pop-ups, scattered showers and storms, especially for this afternoon and all the way into the early evening hours. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Getting rid of bacteria, destroying 99.9% of harmful bacteria. How does that sound when it comes to your water? Why not take control? Call the local experts, my buddy Max at Pentair Water Systems. You can find out what's in your water, right? And with a Pentair Water System, I'm telling you, I should know I have one. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every single faucet, every one. Their salt-free solution is the Pentair Smart Combo, can tackle chlorine and scale with no lugging in bags of salt. You've got the Advantage Salt System, if you like, would tackle even the hardest water issues. And Pentair's UV system, listen to this, it's capable of destroying 99.9% of harmful bacteria. You know, the ones that find its way into your water, like E. coli. This month, take $199 off installation of your whole home Pentair water system, and let Max, your local Pentair water specialist, find the solution right for you. And they got the white glove service program where they'll even maintain your system for you. So get the test now at 239-880-7799. 239-880-7799.
Across the nation, America is moving forward, finding our footing, getting back on our feet. Life continues to open up. Businesses are getting back to business, and we are too. We know you rely on the Good Feet store to be there when you need us. We're open and ready to serve you. Our personally fit arch supports are designed to help alleviate, even eliminate, foot, knee, hip, and back pain, and provide comfort, balance, and support. The well-being of our customers, associates, and community is our highest priority.
So we've implemented new measures, procedures, and precautions, keeping your health and safety in the forefront. The Good Feet store is lending a hand to help America get back on its feet. And just as we have for a quarter century, we're helping to improve the quality of people's lives, 2 feet at a time.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
We are celebrating halfway to St. Patty's Day on September 17th. Join me, Tony, and the Anthony's gang for the best corned beef and cabbage, green beer, and live entertainment all day.
Pre-order your corned beef and cabbage now for takeout or reserve to dine in. Enjoy live music on the patio September 17th. Expanded lunch and dinner menus now available. Favorites like the New York Strip and Meatloaf are back. Anthony's on the Boulevard, 1303 Del Prado Boulevard South. Call 772-5900 or join their VIP club at anthony'sontheblvd.net and receive a free breakfast buffet.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site, ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley.
On credit and Sunday.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Terry. Terry's in Cape Coral. Good morning, Terry. How are you today? It's Terry's. Oh gosh, that's me. I keep waiting for you to to hit it, Jake, and I'm the one that's pushing the buttons. Hi, Terry.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, Terry, starts right now. All right, Terry, think about this. Who was the vice president of the United States in 2018?
Ken.
That is correct. All right, you got associates.
Yay.
That's right. You got You got you got an associate's. We'll see if we get a bachelor's on this question. What was name the U.S. war between the North and the South? It was called
the Civil War.
That is correct. You got a bachelor's. Woo! Let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. Why does the flag have 50 stars?
To represent the 50 states.
That is correct. All right. You do it. Look at you. All right. You got a master's. Here's your PhD question. Listen carefully. Who was the president during World War I? Who was the president during World War I? Was it Herbert Hoover, Woodrow Wilson, or FDR?
Can you say that again? Because you were breaking up.
Okay. Who was the president during World War I? Was it Herbert Hoover, Woodrow Wilson, or FDR?
I'm going to say, this one's a little tougher for me. FDR.
No, it was Woodrow Wilson was the president during World War I. That's okay. Listen, you did great. A master's degree today. You were cruising right along there, and then my phone broke up. And I'm blaming it on my phone. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the confidence in my phone. All right, well, congratulations. You got a master's degree today, Terry, on Drew's College. You get to speak to Jake. That is a thrill, a second. So it's over. That's it. You don't have to be thrilled anymore. And certainly,
thank you so much.
we appreciate you listening, and stay right there. All right, when we come back, we are going to have a conversation with Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is going to join us, former Attorney General here in the state of Florida.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you're paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000. That's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
That's what sleeping with a CPAP sounds like. If you can't use CPAP, imagine pressing a button and it sounding like this. That's sleeping with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you have sleep apnea, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort? Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Visit Accurate Comfort Services online at AccurateComfortServices.com today. License number CMC 057023.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A former teacher accused of sexually abusing students will be in court again this morning. Joseph Comparchio is accused of sexual misconduct with students in Michigan in the 70s. He used to work for the Canterbury School in South Fort Myers. Yesterday, he appeared in court, but the judge couldn't find the warrant, so the case was moved to today. Michigan officials want Comparchio extradited. Hurricane Sally's brought a lot of rain to Southwest Florida over the last few days. More rain means more nutrients, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But if there's too much, that's when we can run into problems. Right now, there's an advisory that algae is in the Shaughnessy Canal in Cape Coral. Local realtors say many people from up north are wanting homes in Florida. More people are moving to our state, but it's not just for the warmth and sunshine. Realtors say people think it's safer here, and they may also want to be moving here to vote since Florida's a swing state. Deputies arrested 2 men accused of trying to rob and then kill someone in a Snapchat drug deal gone wrong. They arrested 20-year-old Austin Moore and 18-year-old Christian Custo. Documents say they were involved in a deadly shooting August 14th along 56th Street West in Lehigh Acres. That was the same day and same location where teenager C.J. Wallace was killed. His family told us last week deputies made an arrest in his case. Harvest season's about to begin, and the Department of Agriculture wants to help keep our farm workers safe. It released a series of videos with tips, including mask safety, hand washing, and social distancing. The videos follow the launch of last week's heat illness prevention campaign. The Englewood Beach Waterfest is canceled. Its board of directors says looking at the current statistics and health concerns, they decided not to hold the November event. Last year set a record with event attendance, and with 75 boats racing, they have several other events still planned for 2021. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Unfortunately, as of right now, I-75 is backed up heading south of Alico towards Corkscrew. There is that shutdown on Alico between Oriole and the interstate, so you can't even access Three Oaks. The best way to navigate around this, guys, stick to US 41. You can navigate around the whole thing, and it'll be much faster for you. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, scattered showers and storms, hit or miss of the forecast as temperatures will top out near 90 degrees. Gets a little bit hotter for you Thursday, your Friday. Lower 90 set to return with more chances for some pop-up spotty rain. Chance of storms as well as we hit the weekend with more lower 90s on the way. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right. All along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and have I told you about Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting? I know I have because, well, number one, I've used them on multiple occasions. I've had a few moves lately, and each and every time had them at my home. They're fantastic. I love the staff. They are the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars. But here's another thing to consider. What about a kitchen, a bath, an entire home that you want remodeled? They have teams and resources ready right now to walk you through the process so they can turn your dreams into reality. I should know because they did exactly that for me and my wife. I could not be happier. The communication, the friendliness of the staff, the fact that they've been around since 2001, and the difference that they can make, whether it is something like painting a bathroom and especially kitchen and bath remodels. So call them today, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, 239-431-2781, and find out what they can do for you and the incredible work that they do for yourself. 239-431-2781 for Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward. Help your business to bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to comcastbusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 10/21/2020. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra. Subject to change.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We appreciate you watching, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. And we appreciate a few minutes right now with the former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's joining us. The Trump campaign has the Women for Trump's bus tour event going on and here in the state of Florida. And I'm glad we have a few minutes to speak with her this morning. It's Drew Steele. Good morning. How are you today?
Drew, good morning. Great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you again. It's been a long time, but certainly, things, a lot of has been happening, obviously, with this president and over the past 3+ years. And, you know, the amazing thing to me, and you can speak to this certainly directly, is the tangible benefits that we here in the state of Florida and certainly across the country have had pre-pandemic. And just the amazing things that this president has been able to do. And certainly how, if anybody could do it again, it's the president of the United States. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, he is the only person who I believe who could do it again, especially in this race.
Yep.
You know, we've all been seeing Joe Biden and his lack of knowledge on the issues. That's the nicest way I can say it. And, you know, the president goes nonstop. And Drew, I was blessed to be in the White House with him for a short while. And, you know, I got to see firsthand the way that man works and what he does. He ran because he cares about our country. he gave up a great life because he cares about our country. Our country has become his life. Unemployment was at an all-time low before this pandemic. And, just because we're out here today celebrating women and women for Trump, during his first 3 years in office, women saw the lowest unemployment rate in 65 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That means more jobs. That means higher income. I mean, and just in this past July, 1.1 million jobs were added for women. He's directed more than $200 million, and this is working with Ivanka, too, who is my wonderful friend, on technology education grants for women and programs that will encourage STEM careers, which is so important now, especially for our young people. And so, yeah, Hispanic unemployment was at an all-time low, Black unemployment at an all-time low, and he did it once. He will do it again. It's going to be the great American comeback. Yeah. And, we had to artificially shut down our economy, but we're already seeing it come back. And all the great things. And as a career prosecutor and attorney general, that really none of that works, none of it, if we're not safe.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm so glad you brought that up because for all the, and let's be honest, it's just the two of us talking. Look, for all the fun that we could have with Joe Biden and some of the things that he says and the concerns that we have that he's not even sure, what he's saying and where he's saying, even when he's reading off a teleprompter, it's awful. We could have fun with that. But the real foundation here are the policies. What would a Harris-Biden, see what I did there? A Harris-Biden administration do?
He said it.
Yes.
And so did she. And that should scare everyone to death.
Yep.
They are running a man for president who will not be president.
Yep. It's true.
He's a straw president.
And so ultimately,
he is a straw president.
Right. And so it goes to what policies we will see. And to your point, and you can speak to this directly, because you would know it a thing or two, like you brought up, is the fact of our security, the security that we want on our streets and what is happening to our brave men and women that are out there each and every day, officers that are there to protect us. And who is it that will be the administration that will not stand up for our police, that does not speak directly to the violence that's happening on the streets and articulate what is going on? And that should scare everybody. And I think that it does. I think America, not just Republicans, I think America sees what's happening.
Yeah, I do. And I think that's why people are going to come out in droves to support President Trump. And that's why people have to get out there and vote. And, we call it law and order, and it is. But you know what it is? It's also safety and security. Yeah. I mean, that's really what it is. It's keeping everyone safe, not only in this country domestically, but also abroad. But, just look at here. His running mate agreed with defunding the police in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And that should terrify everyone that Joe Biden, that's his agenda. And you can say redirect funds all day long, but that's defunding the police, what he's saying out of his mouth, he wants to do. And, we've got to be there to support our men and women in law enforcement and the military, but not only here, but abroad. Look at what President Trump did with Israel and the UAE and Bahrain.
Yeah.
That's unprecedented.
Yep.
Everything he's been doing for Israel is unprecedented. It's remarkable what he could do. Now, having said that, Joe Biden, no one other than the president can negotiate with world leaders. You're not going to send a vice president in there to negotiate with the UAE. That's just not going to happen. Yeah. And he's the only one who can do that, and he can't do that. He can delegate. He can delegate these Supreme Court picks that are going to be left-wing, frightening Supreme Court picks if Joe Biden got elected. He can delegate all that. But you know what he can't delegate? The right to go to war. Only the president of the United States can do that, and that should scare everyone to death. President Trump has kept our country out of war, and he's bringing home our men and women in military who need to be back in this country. But he exercises peace through strength. Mm-hmm. And Joe Biden cannot do that. He just can't.
Yeah. Pam Bondi joining us. Pam Bondi joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Of course, Florida's former Attorney General, former Special Advisor to the President, Office of White House Counsel, and we appreciate a few minutes as the Women for Trump bus tour in the state of Florida up in Jacksonville today, and a lot to discuss, of course, even across the state. And even to speak to this, Pam, and I think this is something that's important that we recognize. School choice. how important that is, how in 2018, how important it was, the election of the governor of the state of Florida, how there are people that understand that that choice is important to their families across the board, what that means, and the quality of education that you can get when you have choice. As a homeschool family, I can tell you personally, personal experience, to be able to have that choice. I can speak to that. But certainly that is something that the president has been fighting for, and it's paid dividends here in the state, no doubt.
Absolutely, and I've talked to Betsy DeVos about this many times. She's a friend of mine. President Trump is committed to school choice. And, you know, what people forget, they're forgetting that this helps minority children more, just as much or more, so they can go to the school of their choice as well. But, yeah, it's going to help all Americans and especially all Floridians. And so President Trump is committed to that, and the Biden-Harris ticket is not. At all. It's the opposite.
Yeah, and there is something to be said about, as you have been going out and you've been going to different places, different communities. Do you get the sense, kind of bringing it back to the security issue before we go, I do want to get your perspective because, you know, the years that you spent here in the state of Florida as Attorney General and the things that transpired through the years that you were here, this is a different time. It's a different, it is not 10 years ago. It is not, it is so different right now on the streets, what is happening. How concerned are you? Because you've had a perspective that not many people have had when it comes to the support for police, when it comes to what we should be doing on the streets of our cities, and the way things are now in, quite frankly, I'll say it, Democrat-led cities that we see, that has to take you back a little bit to say, it makes it more difficult to fight against those forces when there are people in authority who are allowing it to happen in their cities.
You know, I say a prayer every morning before I turn on the news because I'm so scared to see what police officers were harmed the night before, or victims, or children who were shot and killed, just horrible violence going on throughout this country. And you know, I go back even further than that because I've been a prosecutor since my early 20s. That's been my entire career as law enforcement. And I've seen firsthand, since I was on the campaign trail with the president in 2016, firsthand how the great respect he has for our men and women in law enforcement. And well before he ran for president, he cares so much about our military, our first responders. And that's what should frighten everyone, is that we can't become Portland. We can't become Seattle. We can't become New York. Look at the beautiful city of New York. It's devastated. And by the way, I hope Rudy Giuliani decides to run for mayor again. But we cannot become that in Florida. We just can't. And it truly scares me to death. And we've got to remain a law and order state. We are now, thank goodness to all of our great men and women in law enforcement. But, you know, we're seeing chiefs resign around the country, or they're being fired by their liberal mayors. That should scare everyone to death because they're here to protect us. Of course, you're going to have that 0.1% who are bad people, just like in any occupation. But we have got to support all our good men and women who sacrifice every day for us. Think how their families sacrifice in this climate right now, when they're leaving home, putting on that uniform every day. And we've got to support them. And Joe Biden does not. President Trump will and always has.
No doubt about it. All right, Pam Bondi, I appreciate a few minutes of your time. Hoping you can do this again soon, certainly before the election. And it was great having a few minutes of time with you today.
Thank
All the best.
you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Pam Bondi joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Let's find out what's happening right now with traffic to the minute. Sabrina Katz.
As of right now, you still cannot access the interstate on Alico Road if you're heading east of Three Oaks. You can get onto I-75 if you're heading west of Ben Hill. However, traffic is backed up on I-75 heading southbound between Alico and Corkscrew. The best way to really navigate around this is US 41. It's fully up to speed. There's a shutdown as well on Three Oaks between Winged Foot and Alico Road. So you will have to head south on Three Oaks to Corkscrew Road if you want to get to the interstate. That's your Up to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Halfway through the week, 90 degrees for your Wednesday with more clouds, some sunshine with the chance for some pop-ups, scattered showers and storms, especially for this afternoon and all the way into the early evening hours. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News, the conservative, smart, right voice of Southwest Florida.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. Dr. Michael P. Varveris joining us right now. Doctor, if you want to get right into it, COVID-19 still running rampant. What kind of diagnostic tests are available, and what would you say are the pros and cons?
Well, there's blood tests for antibodies against COVID-19, which, if positive, suggest the patient has been exposed to it and has developed immunity. There are also two kinds of nasal swab tests, which, if positive, suggest the patient currently has an active infection. In the past, these nasal swab tests were very difficult to get access to, and the results would take a week or more to come in. For this reason, they were not very helpful. The current nasal swab tests are widely available, and the results come in within 24 hours less, which makes them much more helpful. Sadly, the major problem with the current nasal swab test is that you have to be very selective on who does them for you. Many labs have been caught declaring 100% of their test results as positive, while the true positive rate was actually 6 to 9%. Thus, if you're going to have nasal swab testing done, it is crucial to have it done with the right doctor and with the right lab.
Dr. Michael P. Varveris, your concierge doctor, where the focus is on you.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why pay more for a used car or truck? Model year-end sales event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Model year-end sales event going on now at Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
24-month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at sign plus tax, tag title, dealer and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit with lender approval, expires month end.
Home is truly where the heart is. To protect it, you need top quality roofing installed by experts. That's why we chose CFS Roofing Services. Owner David Crowther has nearly 4 decades of experience. Now my home's weather-tight and beautifully resilient.
CFS Roofing Services, where your home matters most. Visit cfsroofing.com or call 239-561-2600. I'm David Crowther, and I approve this message.
Cool off with the one and only Big Ken's Key Lime Pie, served only at Spanky's. To everyone else, he's Big Ken, but to me, he's Dad. Hi, this is Emily Monty, owner of Spanky's, here with Big Ken to tell you why you need to visit Spanky's.
That's right, hon. Some of my favorite things at Spanky's are the prime rib, baby back ribs, and the fresh seafood. And the atmosphere of being among vintage memorabilia, gas pumps, and antiques takes me back to a much simpler time.
Thanks, Dad. My husband Ted and I take great pride in the quality, variety, and value our customers have come to expect. Everyone enjoys Spanky's Speakeasy Lounge or outdoor waterfront patio dining. Spanky's is a true family restaurant, serving lunch and dinner daily, but closed Sundays for worship and rest. We're located on Airport Pulling Road, just south of Golden Gate Parkway in Naples. Dad, we're gonna need a lot more of your key lime pies.
Okay, I'm on it.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live on YouTube. Anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele. I can't even believe what I just saw. I can't repeat it, but it was maybe off the air I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it on YouTube for YouTube only. If you go to YouTube, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, maybe that's where we do it. Let's see. So there's a couple of things that we're going to touch on. Top 5 audio clips of the day coming up, the 5 at 8:35. Certainly we'll get to that. We'll also get to some of the other stories that we kind of touched on. There's some new audio that was released. I haven't checked it out yet. I will maybe, when certain stories break, you want to give it a little bit of time to make sure that it is what it says it is. Kind of do a little research. Just had this dropped into my email box, a new Joe Biden audio, a tape released in Ukraine, talking about the vice president trashing the incoming Trump administration to foreign leaders and saying that he'll stay involved in Ukraine after the inauguration and talking about jointly damaging Trump. That's the headline on the audio clip. Now, to be fair, like I said, I have not heard the audio, so I'm not going to play the audio because I don't know exactly where it came from. It was put into my feed, and so I'm going to check that out from a good source, by the way, so we'll see. Also, definitely wanted to talk more about some of the audio of Joe Biden from yesterday in the state of Florida, and what an absolute mess in so many different ways. I mean, it's not just the fact that both he and Kamala Harris calling it a Harris-Biden administration, Joe Biden reading off a teleprompter when he said it, which is hard enough to believe, but also some of what the vice president did walking up to a podium. And I just wonder ask yourself if Trump or George W. Bush or anybody walked up to a podium and after being announced, it's an event for, I guess it was addressing Latinos in the state of Florida, and you have the former vice president walking up.
I just have one thing to say.
Takes out his cell phone and...
Hang on here. I tell you what, if I had the talent of any one of these people, I'd be elected president by acclamation.
There you go. All right. So, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, Joe Biden has Despacito, a huge song across the country there on his cell phone. That just seems like a very natural thing to have there on his phone. No, nothing about that. But then the fact that Despacito in Spanish means slowly. Joe Biden, slow Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
No, it doesn't mean sleepy. It means slow. All right. We'll get to some of that audio coming up. You'll hear it. Top 5 audio clips of the day. 5 at 8:35 up next.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
You may not know it, but male performance during intimate moments requires proper blood flow, which only gets worse with age. The result? All men experience some level of performance issues over time, from decreased firmness all the way to chronic ED. At Metro Men's Health, our goal is to provide you with the most effective treatment for performance issues. Years ago, we used to use the same technology as other clinics, but didn't settle for one-size-fits-all treatments or outdated wave technology. Should you? We've developed new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. We've helped thousands of men achieve consistent, longer-lasting results, and those results can be yours too. Your condition will only get worse with time. Don't wait. Call Metro Men's Health to schedule your evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or visit us at metromenshealth.com.
Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. All new Jeep Gladiator Overland lease, $399 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab, lease for just $299 per month. That's right. Loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice. Just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days, featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
42 monthly, 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR with 0 down. Lender approval offers don't combine.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. Hurricane Sally battering the Gulf Coast after making landfall this morning in Gulf Shores, Alabama as a Cat 2. The region could be in for historic flooding.
Fox is reporting the upwards of 35 inches of rain that Hurricane Sally is going to dump on parts of Alabama and in Florida, especially Pensacola, completely underwater. There's also parts of Alabama that are seeing flooding. Bridges are being shut down. Police are asking people, do not go outside and assess the damage.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer in Mobile, Alabama. President Trump in an ABC town hall insisting he didn't want to downplay the threat from the coronavirus.
With China, I put a ban on. With Europe, I put a ban on.
The president also touched on his law and order message, saying, if you're going to stop crime, we have to give the respect back to the police they deserve.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. And August retail sales coming in below estimates. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A former teacher accused of sexually abusing students will be in court again this morning. Joseph Comparchio is accused of sexual misconduct with students in Michigan in the 70s. He used to work for the Canterbury School in South Fort Myers. Yesterday, he appeared in court, but the judge couldn't find the warrant, so the case was moved to today. Michigan officials want Comparchio extradited. Hurricane Sally's brought a lot of rain to Southwest Florida over the last few days. More rain means more nutrients, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But if there's too much, that's when we can run into problems. Right now, there's an advisory that algae is in the Shaughnessy Canal in Cape Coral. Local realtors say many people from up north are wanting homes in Florida. More people are moving to our state, but it's not just for the warmth and sunshine. Realtors say people think it's safer here, and they may also want to be moving here to vote since Florida's a swing state. Deputies arrested 2 men accused of trying to rob and then kill someone in a Snapchat drug deal gone wrong. They arrested 20-year-old Austin Moore and 18-year-old Christian Custo. Documents say they were involved in a deadly shooting August 14th along 56th Street West in Lehigh Acres. That was the same day and same location where teenager C.J. Wallace was killed. His family told us last week deputies made an arrest rest in his case. Harvest season's about to begin, and the Department of Agriculture wants to help keep our farm workers safe. It released a series of videos with tips, including mask safety, hand washing, and social distancing. The videos follow the launch of last week's heat illness prevention campaign. The Englewood Beach Waterfest is canceled. Its board of directors says looking at the current statistics and health concerns, they decided not to hold the November event. Last year set a record with event attendance and with 75 boats racing. They have several other events still planned for 2021. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
As of right now, you still cannot access the interstate on Alico Road if you're heading east of Three Oaks. You can get onto I-75 if you're heading west of Ben Hill. However, traffic is backed up on I-75 heading southbound between Alico and Corkscrew. The best way to really navigate around this is US 41. It's fully up to speed. There's a shutdown as well on Three Oaks between Winged Foot and Alico Road. So you will have to head south on Three Oaks to Corkscrew Road if you want to get to the interstate. That trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, scattered showers and storms, hit or miss of the forecast as temperatures will top out near 90 degrees. Gets a little bit hotter for your Thursday, your Friday. Lower 90 set to return with more chances for some pop-up spotty rain. Chance of storms as well as we hit the weekend with more lower 90s on the way. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Steven Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Guess what, Southwest Florida? It's not too late. You can still get the full original base MSRP for your trade-in, but only at Naples Nissan. Yes, bring us that 6, 7, 8-year-old car you're driving now, and we'll pay you what you paid for it, so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. So, yeah, whatever it was worth back in 2012, that's exactly what it'll be worth now. But only at Naples Nissan. We don't care where you bought your car from or if it was already used when you bought it. If it's a 2012 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, we're paying you the full original base MSRP for it. Go to naplesnissan.com and pick out your favorite new Nissan model. Then come see us on Pine Ridge Road to get the full base MSRP for your trade-in and drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Get all the details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. Just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, you get a little alert. You'll know when we're there. You get to watch. You can see Jakey Jake right there. Look at that. There's Jake the Millennial. Look at that mug. You want to wave? Oh, go ahead and wave. Look at you. All right. Enough of that. Top 5 audio clips of the day right now. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
You could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure in hell take care of running a, department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies' department or whatever. You know what I mean?
There's a little bit of Joe Biden from his Veterans Roundtable yesterday in Florida. And just in case you're wondering what he said, let me repeat what he said. Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure in hell take care running, department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies' department or whatever. You know what I mean. That's without a teleprompter, everybody.
Number 4.
Okay, briefly, from my first report, I can present the solid scientific evidence to our audience that this virus, COVID-19 SARS-CoV-2 virus, actually is not from nature. It is a man-made virus created in the lab based on the China military discovered and owned the very unique bat coronavirus, which cannot affect people, but after the modification becomes a very harmful virus at now.
That was from Tucker Carlson's show last night, hours after the ban on Twitter of her account for presenting evidence that the COVID-19 SARS-CoV-2 was created in a lab in Wuhan, China. Chinese virologist Dr. Li Mengyang, who was on Tucker Carlson's show last night, told the host that the virus is a, quote, Frankenstein, which was designed to target humans, which was intentionally released. We'll have some more audio on that, but I guess your first reaction to that is, whoa.
Number 3.
President Trump presided over a signing ceremony at the White House today as Israel established formal ties with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain.
It's going to be peace in the Middle East.
But the signing of the accords that Trump hailed as historic also drew attention because hundreds of guests were packed on the South Lawn with little social distancing and optional masks. Among the hundreds of guests were top officials who flouted COVID-19 precautions.
I just can't do it. So if you're wondering how CNN and Jake Tapper reporting, throwing it to the White House reporter yesterday after this historic signing there at the White House on the way to peace in the Middle East, this signing with the president and Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel, a prime minister, of course, and the foreign ministers representing UAE and Bahrain, CNN decided to spend 5 seconds talking about that and a minute and a half talking about how there was no social distancing or the wearing of masks and pointing to specific individuals who were not masked up at that moment in time. Priorities.
Number 2.
What would be the main issue? You think it's climate, where he needs to be more progressive, or is there another one that you think is at the top of the list?
I think overall, we can likely push Vice President Biden in a more progressive direction across policy issues.
Okay.
What would be the main
all
issue?
right. Well, ignore the background noise. That was a truck that pulled up while this person was doing an interview on the street. It was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez walking down the street in D.C. out of the Capitol, and a reporter said, there are things about Joe Biden that you don't like, and And she's like, no worries. We can likely push Joe Biden in a more progressive direction after the election on the very large disagreements that they have. Oh, I'm sure in a Harris-Biden administration that would be the plan. The Harris-Biden administration, Harris being the first name that I say, is already starting the process of pushing him in a progressive direction. You see that, right?
Number 1.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here. I tell you what, if I had the talent of any one of these people, I'd be elected president by acclamation.
There you go. There's Joe Biden walking out to a podium in Florida yesterday, steps out to the podium, and in front of an audience there, a Latino audience backing the former vice president. Of course, Joe Biden steps out, takes out a cell phone and starts playing Despacito from his phone. Lots of questions about that, everybody.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Well, the first question is, do you honestly, really, and I'll ask Jake the millennial, Despacito, do you honestly, truly, honestly believe that Joe Biden has that on his playlist on his cell phone? Does he honestly, is that on, do you think that's his top 5 there on his phone? Yeah, maybe.
No,
not at all. Like to take a guess what might be on Joe Biden's cell phone song playlist? I'm sure we could come up with lots of ideas.
Joe Biden has on his playlist?
What does he have?
Has the sound of waves. He has crickets. He has a nighttime sound.
Right, you got to have the nighttime sound. Maybe a fan, like.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Like a
Just
white
a
noise
buzz.
sound creator. I mean, I have one of those, so I can't really. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Despacito, one of the biggest songs in the country a few years back, was not on his phone and on his playlist. The second big question might be, hey, anybody ever examine the lyrics of the song and try to find out what exactly it's talking about? And let's just put it this way. It has some connotations that have to do with, boys and girls, birds and bees. I'm just being gentle and kind because we never know who's listening. Is that fair to say, Jacob? Maybe some talk of birds and bees?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. And then the third thing is, when you're trying to figure out if you were trying to describe pandering to somebody, like if Jake just landed here from Venus because he was part of the atmosphere, the mist that has something in there that scientists are suggesting now there's life on Venus. We've been looking at the wrong planet, everybody. Don't go to Mars, go to Venus. You're going the wrong way. They're actually there. Like, Jake was actually part of the aliens there on Venus. They were like, this way. We're over here. Why? You're going the wrong. Watching the ships.
My smoke signal because
it's like, we're down here. We've been waiting for you guys. Yeah. Oh, gosh, don't get me started on the science and scientists and how I'm not sure I have a whole lot of trust in scientists, especially after some of the things I was reading over the weekend. Boy, I don't want to get off on this tangent yet, but I will. If you were to land and try to explain to Jake the alien, what is pandering? Like, what is the textbook pandering? What is that like? That's it. And it's funny because Democrats have an interesting way of continuing to perpetuate this. Like they've done it before. You know what? I know that I've heard this kind of pandering before. Let me think.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Yeah, that's where that came. I knew it. So look, maybe it's a coincidence. because it worked so well for Hillary the last time.
I'm really offended personally.
Oh, I could tell you all the people that were offended by that audio clip. But it feels almost like liberals just don't get it. They just keep doing it. Anybody else feeling a little uncomfortable right now? Yeah, so there's Joe Biden trying to beat Hillary Clinton to the dictionary when it comes to the word pandering, whose face should be there and which video clip should be playing. So you got a little bit of that going on. One of the clips we played was CNN, who, when we find out about a historic deal being signed in the Middle East, as the American thinker Andrea Whitberg was describing, bringing peace to the Middle East, the Democrats are not impressed. Yawns, you know. Trump also hinted that several more Muslim countries would follow, including Saudi Arabia. Trump is doing what everyone said was impossible, bringing peace to the Middle East. Democrats responded by downplaying. Nothing to see here, move along. You know, we got to talk about the masks. I mean, really, that's the issue. You know, how does everybody walk around with not wearing masks? Nancy Pelosi is like, yeah, whatever. So I don't really care.
It's coming in 2 months. It was coming in 6 months. It still hasn't come in any way that has brought peace. So good for him for having a distraction on a day when the numbers of people who are affected and the numbers of people who are dying from this virus only increases. Since we passed...
Okay, I gotta stop. So that's all. It's just a distraction, everybody. That's all. For Nancy Pelosi, an historic deal, peace deals that are being signed, they are just, it's distractions from the COVID deaths. And did you see how nobody was wearing them? Yeah. I'm sure years from now, that's what they'll be talking about, is the fact that the Attorney General Barr wasn't wearing a mask during the ceremony. I'm positive of that. But again, I think it was Bill O'Reilly yesterday who was on this program who was describing the president as transactional. And, you know, sometimes transactional, when you say that, people disagree. They don't like that term, but it is true. And in a lot of respects, when it comes to what the president does and does not do, things that he will do that politicians will not. Clearly, the president is doing something right. If he's able to bring these countries now to the table, and not only to the table, but to sign agreements in front of the world. How does this happen? Is it any coincidence that the one group that was not invited to the table this time around were the Palestinians? Not one of the participants this go-around. By sidelining the Palestinians, the president was able to make this deal and could possibly make more deals moving forward. That is something that did not happen and would not happen in the past, was not allowed to happen, and this president decided to take a different direction, and all of a sudden, look at what happens. It almost makes you think that it may have been another group that was holding things up other than what we were told, which is Israel, and they were the ones, and really. Oh, and also all the doom and gloom that was out there about, for example, how the president was never going to get a peace deal, was never going to get anything like a peace deal if he were to move the embassy to Jerusalem. How dare you do this? It's never going to happen. Not going to happen, everybody.
President Trump's big decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and one that Palestinians and others say could destroy hopes of Middle East peace once and for all.
The president's unilateral action will get people killed. How hot will it get? And how destabilizing will it be?
What he has done is thrown a diplomatic bomb into the Middle East peace process.
They're not interested in history. They don't know history. That would then embarrass all the Sunni Arab regimes. They would have to do something, enormously complicating, by the way, Israel's relations with them.
It's going to stop any hope of Middle East progress in the peace talks.
This kind of policy, unilateral decision, will basically wreck the Middle East.
Despite warnings from Turkey's President Erdogan, the kings of Jordan and Saudi Arabia, and all of America's NATO allies, that this could kill hopes for Middle East peace.
You'd have an explosion, an absolute explosion in the region.
Those didn't age well, did they? Yeah, none of that happened. Quite the opposite did. just understand a couple of things, and let's go to break, Jake, and it's this. The media is not your friend. The media is not your friend if they are willing to say these things and willing to do what they do while this president is able to make historic peace deals, is able to not bring back an economy and jobs once, but twice. And they will lie to you and tell you what you see is not what you see and what is going to happen when it doesn't happen. Oh, no, it did. No, it didn't. The confusion that they bring. How are they not? How are they your friend? I'm just trying to figure it out. And unfortunately, the bad news is there'll be more of this once the president is reelected for 4 more years. Just get ready, buckle up, because more will be coming. But the good news is that as long as you're listening to this show and this station, and you have a place to go where you'll get the real story and be right all along, dare I say, then you'll know it's coming and you'll be all right. We'll all be all right. Good times. All right, let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up for today with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devon.
Heads up, another chance for some pop-up, hit or miss, scattered rain and storms as we hit this afternoon all the way